welcome to yet another episode of T&D Won't Shut Up,
where we discuss and debate relationship topics from a healthy couple's perspective.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly discussions and share it with a friend or two.
Or three.
Or four.
Or five. All right, how you doing, baby?
I'm doing pretty good, babe.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, fun day.
Yes.
How have your week been, honey?
It's been a good week, a busy week. I've been dealing with some business-related activities, but fortunately, everything has been working out, and it's time for some Sunday fun day festivities after we record this episode.
Right.
And get it posted.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Been studying for a huge test that's coming up next week, so wish me well. And preparing for a birthday. So, yeah, It's going to be good.
All right, so what are we discussing today?
We are discussing Ready to Love, Season 9, Episode 4, Getting Intimate.
And it was a good episode.
It was an amazing episode, y'all. This season is full with a lot of drama and tea. I don't know if there's going to be any long-term connections, but definitely some tea and drama.
Absolutely.
And I'm here for it. We're enjoying it.
Yes. All right, let's jump right in.
All right, so the episode starts in the ladies' lounge. This is the first ladies' lounge that they're having, and Tommy says, what happens in the ladies' lounge stays in the ladies' lounge. Y'all see what happens. But nonetheless, and Tommy decides to throw a curveball and invites a new guy named Justin. He is a 34-year-old physical education teacher, a.k.a. PE teacher. And he's from Mississippi. What do you think about him, baby?
He was cool. He, came in, a little bit confident, not overly confident, but, he presented well. Handsome dude, looked clean. The girl seemed a little bit, intrigued by him, and there's nothing like adding a new person into the mix. I think the reception was cool.
Yeah, and handsome guy. Like you said, baby, he presented very well. So, yeah, I'm excited to see his journey.
All right, we will see. All right, if you're still listening at this point, please take a second to like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel. We got great content that's going to be coming out in the future, in addition to our Ready to Love commentary.
Yes.
All right, so in the first scene, we have Alexis, Rashina, Lamar, Will, and William. And they're all in, some type of gymnasium, which is Alexis's element. Alexis, she does some refereeing. And obviously she had a little referee outfit on and all that. So that's cool. So
not a gymnasium, baby.
Yeah, I know. I took it old school right there. All right. So everybody's having a good time. Everybody's shooting hoops. It seems like a good vibe. And then they break away into the first sidebar with Rashina, Will, and Lamar. And, they're chopping it up. And Rashina mentioned that her relationships are usually 3+. Of course, the, two lowest guys on the totem pole just had to take things in the wrong direction. And surprisingly, it wasn't Lamar who did it first. It was Will. And Will said something like, wait, hold up. 3+ people or 3+ years? And it's like, here we go again. Jumping straight to a sexual connotation. Right. It's actually disrespectful because she's trying to have a serious conversation here. Of course, Lamar jumps in, laughing and, supporting the nonsense that Will's putting out there. So whatever. She corrected that real quick. It was time to move on from there. And then the conversation really never changed from that point.
Right.
What do you think about it?
I just feel like that was totally disrespectful, and she really didn't like it. But of course, during the moment, she held it together, But in the confessional, she did say she's not interested in that. And then Will asked, who would you choose between both of us? And she was like, none of y'all. And that's what she really meant. But of course, she lightened up the load and said, started making a little joke out of it. Yeah. What do you think about Rashina's hair, baby? She changed it up?
She looked like the type that changed it up pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
She, I'm personally not attracted to her. She ain't my type of woman, but, it looks like good hair though, and the sewing is working. So
I think that's a wig, honey.
Is it a wig?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well the wig's wigging. But that's all I got on there. This is clearly no connection. She's not attracted to them. I don't know that they're attracted to her. Would they smash? Yeah, of course. But I don't see anything here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so in the next sidebar, we have Alexis and William, and they're playing basketball and having a little conversation. And she basically asks, what do you consider your most significant relationship? And relationships, I guess. And he talked about his ex-wives. But he felt like he married them for the wrong reasons. And she really liked that he opened up to her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it was a really good conversation. William has really grown on me. I'm not attracted to him still, but he is on top as far as quality of man. Not physical, but, holding conversation, being respectful to the women. I honestly cannot believe he's a comedian because he comes off a little serious, and I don't even see a jokey side to him. Right?
At all. Like, he hasn't said a single joke.
Right. But nonetheless, I'm really enjoying watching William because he was the one that I just thought was going to be the bottom and going to be done, but now he's slowly creeping to the top for the men.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, it was cool. It was definitely a good dialogue. It was a serious dialogue. See, this is what is needed in this show. More, substantive, real, respectful conversations. Not what we just saw with Will, Lamar, and Rashina. He is absolutely right that, people should be given grace for the mistakes. Meeting a person that has 2 divorces, I mean, there's questions, and I can see how a person would be a little reluctant to jump into something with a person like that. But he makes a valid point that, should you be written off in your entire life just because you've had 2 divorces? No. But, with grace is also caution.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if he's able to connect with anybody here, this will be his 3rd potential marriage, and that's not insignificant.
4th potential.
Yeah.
I mean, well, 4th child and 3rd baby mama.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
we ain't even bring up the whole.
So I don't know. For me, it's probably will take a very special man because Will is like 35, 36, something like that, and he's already been married twice. Not even married. Married twice is not the problem. Divorced twice tells me lack of discernment. I don't know.
I have to know more details.
I need more details.
But still great conversation, valid points that were made, and it seems, I don't want to say there's a connection here, but it seems like they're going to explore this.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So in the next sidebar, we have Alexis, Lamar, and Will. So please don't have high expectations to this conversation. And she asked them, what does intimacy mean to them? And I will give Will a little bit of credit here. He at least says something that was non-sexual. But he said, intimacy starts with God. And I don't really understand what that means, because you like someone, you want to be intimate with them, and you have to talk to God first. Even if intimacy is at the most basic level, I'm not really getting that. But I'm not going to question how he feels about it. What I will say is I'm glad he had an answer that was meaningful to him and non-sexual.
Right.
Of course, the question goes over to
Lamar. No, but he also calls women chicks. Remember, baby?
He does. That's why I don't know what that was. But Lamar gets the question, and where does he go? Straight to the nonsense. Intimacy means, texting you to find out what color your drawers are. The guy, it's always about sex with him. She clearly got turned off just in the same way that Rashina did and everybody else. So no connection between none of these people, none of these guys, and Alexis. What do you think of him?
I definitely agree. I have nothing more to add. I feel like, Will definitely won in this scene, but that's not to say a lot either.
Winning is just not sounding crazy.
Yeah, or anything better than what Lamar said. Hard.
Right. All right. So on the next date, we have Justin and Riley, his dog, meeting up with Rashina and Chance, her dog, and they met at some. It looked like a dog park, but I found out it's some place where you can bring your dogs, but also order drinks and food, which is actually a pretty cool concept. I might have to scope a spot like that out because we have a dog. Yep. But anyway, I thought that was definitely a different type of date, good setting. They sit down at the table, very cordial conversation. And I think one of the first questions that Rashina asks is that, well, first of all, she makes a distinction between herself and Justin, which is pretty stark. He's younger than she is. She is a mother of 2 children. How does he? And then the question that she poses to him is, how could you handle being in a situation with an older woman that has children? And he answered the question. Seemed pretty genuine to me. He said, look, he's kind of come to grips with the fact that, he may not even have children, which I think he's a little too young to be jumping to that conclusion. But, he feels what he feels. I'm not going to question that. But the answer that he gave, I think, kind of left Rashina with a little bit of confidence that he wasn't concerned or would shy away from dealing with a woman that has 2 children. And I think she felt reassured by that. What you think, baby?
I actually thought it was a decent date. The dogs are cute. I love dogs. So that was the most exciting part of the scene. But I will be honest, I really didn't see a connection. I heard a connection because Rashina went in confessional and basically said that she was interested and that might be her man or that might be her connection. But during the scene, I did not see anything. I just seen Rashina did not look really interested, to be honest. And she said she was looking for a leader, and I don't think she'll find that in Justin. Justin doesn't come off to be the most confident person. He said something about like he was really nervous and she calmed him down or something like that.
Yeah, that definitely stuck out as kind of a lacking confidence.
Right. And then the age gap as well. I don't know if she will really allow that man to lead.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing more, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see any sparks, especially on Rashina's end.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see because I actually thought I'm not gonna say it was some deep connection, but I thought Rashina was a little smitten with the way this all played out, and she was sounding really positive.
Verbally smitten, but when you look at her, she didn't.
I can't speak to her physical connection. All I know is the words that was coming out of her mouth.
Yes.
So we will see.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sad.
All right, so next there was a brief scene where Laylin, I guess, set up a meeting with Tommy to make him aware of the fact that she's dealing with some personal matters and she doesn't really want to leave the show, but she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And Tommy, I guess, gave her some words of assurance that, he's very supportive of the situation, but that he wants her to stay around if she can just give one more week to the show and see how things go.
He gave her a week off. He said take a week
off.
That's right. That's why she didn't go on a date or anything this week.
Right.
And so, honestly, I think, what's her name? Laylin was just bailing out.
Yeah. I jumped to that conclusion. Yeah. Only because we've seen this play out in previous seasons. Right. It's just always a different reason.
Right.
Yeah. And I honestly didn't see her really feeling anybody.
Yeah, the only person that she could potentially that would make a decent connection would be her and what's his name? Chaz. Yeah. Everybody else was younger than her. She also appears more mature than everyone, and I don't see it I just don't see it.
I don't see it
with anybody with her. She's gorgeous though.
Yeah. So we will see what happens in a week.
All right. So in the next scene, we have Chaz's house day. So Chaz invites Chaz invites Vanessa, Patrice, Alonzo, and Koesha. And then they get a surprise visit from somebody. And we'll talk about that in a few. But the scene opened up to Patrice giving Chaz a massage. And then it pans right over to a sidebar with Alonzo and Koesha. And I love this scene, honestly, y'all. I think he did a good job at redeeming himself. The apology seemed extremely genuine. Koesha seemed to accept it. I like the conversation that they had, and I think it was the mature thing to do. What do you have to say about that, baby?
Yeah, so I was actually a little bit surprised. We're so used to people not being accountable, apologizing, beating around the bush, and not being straightforward. I feel like Alonzo came to this get-together intentionally trying to, fix things between him and Koesha, and he did just that. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, Koesha accepted it and moved forward. Koesha, there's something about her that I feel like, she could have a hard way about her, mm-hmm. and she could have easily not accepted the apology or half-heartedly accepted it, but it seemed like it was all genuine, and I think they've actually moved past the issue.
Exactly. I'm not going to say that they're going to be a couple or anything, but to ease the tension, I thought that was a good thing to do, right, baby?
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so next we got a knock at the door. It ends up being Justin, which apparently Chaz didn't know anybody was coming to the house. And we find out that Patrice invited Justin to the house and never informed Chaz. So I got a problem with that, right? You know, you inviting people to someone else's house. So I don't know if she was being a little messy there, trying to stir the pot. I really don't know what the motivation was behind that. But anyway, Justin comes in. Koesha runs up to him. She's a little, over the top with all that. Gives him a hug.
Right.
And Chaz visibly, and I guess he even mentioned it, he was like, yo, who is this dude? Just showing up at the crib. But what I thought was interesting about that is that he immediately started with, puffing the chest out. Like, oh, I got some competition now. So my thing is, Chaz, I get the disrespect, him showing up at the house, but what's up, man? You instantly turn this to a competition. Right. If you confident like that, you don't got to be puffing the chest out like that.
And if you don't need reassurance, you wouldn't be puffing the chest. But we'll get to that.
Exactly. But anyway, so what did you think about Justin's surprise arrival?
I thought it was wrong of Patrice to invite someone to Chaz's house without even letting the owner of the house know that you're inviting someone. That was totally rude, totally disrespectful. I can understand how Chaz got thrown off guard, I'll be honest. But I think that energy should be directed at Patrice,
yes,
to be honest.
Absolutely.
But I will say, although Chaz started puffing the Chaz, I feel like Justin handled everything well, Yeah. When Justin had introduced himself, remember, and he started saying his grandfather was the mayor of his small town, and Chaz was like, why you gotta lead with that? And he's like, huh? He's like, but why you gotta lead with that? And I felt like, I understand, I agree with Chaz. Why did he have to lead with that? But I feel like that's a woman's job to check him. You're not checking for Justin, so why would you even ask him why he has to lead with that?
There you go.
That was a little weird to me. I'm like,
but if you're already in that puffing your chest out posture,
exactly.
Now you're trying to blow this dude up, and you don't even know him like that. And by the way, the women are thinking the same thing. So you don't have to say a single thing. If he looks lame for leading with that, the girls will know it.
Exactly.
Period.
Ain't got nothing to do with you, sir. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. All right. So everybody starts playing dominoes. Seems like everybody's having a good time. I actually saw Justin kind of, aggressively scrambling the dominoes, kind of just messing with Chaz, which, little actions like that, it kind of diffuses any tension.
Right.
Subtle things like that. So I picked up on it.
I like that.
No, he's handling it well, for sure.
Exactly.
Because when you do that, you make it to where the other guy can't even really puff his chest out and be mean because you just a nice dude.
We're just chilling.
Yeah.
We're just having fun.
Exactly. All right, so then another sidebar starts between Alonso and Patrice. What you think about that?
I love that, baby. It was like honestly the cutest thing ever. The little home date that they have planned. It's a Zoom date. He wanted her to watch a movie. What was the movie called? Do you remember?
I do not.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but he said when she watched the movie, he has a question to ask her. And honestly, on paper, I don't think these two are a match, but I do like their connection. I like the energy, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great energy. And she's older than him.
Yeah,
right?
She's 42 and he's 35, so they have a 7-year age gap. And for some reason, it still looks so cute. She looks up at him. She smiles at him. She looks smitten by him. He looks excited to be around her. He seems interested. He told her that she's his number one connection. She even asked, like, how do you feel about the other women? He's like, they're cool, but you're still my number one connection. And she was like, really? It was really cute. I do like them together. They do make me smile. I'm excited to hear about this date if they share. But it's just a cute gesture for him to, put together like a cute little Zoom date. They're going to have little snacks. They're both in separate houses. But it's so cute. I love it. I love everything about it. If y'all see my face right now, I'm smiling. I'm cheesing. It's so cute.
I'm actually trying to come up with a day that I could set up a Zoom date. She loves this idea.
Yeah,
it is
so
cool, though.
cute.
It's different, too.
Yeah, I like that.
So, all right. So, good. We'll see how that goes.
What do you think about it?
I have nothing more to add.
Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so the get-together's wrapping up. Everybody's showing each other love. I think even Justin ended up giving Chaz a pound, right? Mm-hmm. So it was all good. I thought it was a great little gathering. So now everybody rolls out. The only two people left is, obviously just Chaz crib. So Vanessa ended up staying. And they went to this little room, and she got under the cover. I guess this was the time for the serious conversation between them. They seem to have a connection. It's undeniable, I think, physically and verbally, right? It's being communicated. They were constantly smiling at each other, good eye contact. And Chaz, I guess, was professing, his feelings towards her, and how much he appreciates the fact that she's here with him, that he's being completely genuine, and what she's getting is the true Chaz. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna doubt anything because I have no reason to, but he strikes me as a guy who, he's a little seasoned. He's older. Knows how to articulate himself. I was making some observations in his crib, well put together. These are the guys that they know what to say and they know what to do.
And you also got to keep in mind, Chaz is 47, never been married, and no children. I mean, he lost a child, but he's never been married. He lost a child over 20-something years ago. So, he's never been married, never had a child or anything like that.
Yeah, these are what I refer to as professional single men. Okay, they understand the game, they understand women, and truth be told, in my former days, prior to meeting this amazing woman here, I knew how to do those things.
Chaz, to me, rubs me off as someone who just say things to make any girl feel good, any woman, even if he's telling the truth or not. Okay. Not only that, if you look at his type, so first he was interested in Rashina. Then he said he's interested in, what's her name? Vanessa. He also once said he's interested in Patrice.
And these are totally different women.
Totally different women. And he also says that he doesn't like women who wear long lashes, but he's coming for Rashina and Patrice. Like, it's just...
I think you're on to something.
Yeah,
and so, I didn't move like that.
Yeah, so you didn't. You're not correct. Like that, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You had your fun, but you weren't like that. You weren't moving sloppy.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. But I do want to just say that Vanessa does seem like she's into him. She likes what she's hearing. I don't think she's questioning anything at this point.
At this point.
Yeah.
I'm not buying Chaz at all. I don't believe anything he's saying. And I could be wrong. I'm totally aware that I could be wrong, but something about him comes off disingenuous. So I would like to continue to see more, but I am not buying it. I am not convinced with this connection. I think Vanessa's going to see his true colors soon. Do not ask me why I'm saying this. I just have a big feeling that Chaz ain't Chazzing. Yeah. But nonetheless, I digress.
Good point there. Good point. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, so the next date we have is with Maya and Lamar, and they're in, I guess, Maya's studio, someplace where she actually films or shoots content for her waist trainer product. Props to her, by the way. Entrepreneur, doing her thing.
Not only that, you using this show and your time on this show to advertise your business. If you don't find love, at least somebody's out there trying to look for your business. So
exactly,
I love it.
Props to that.
I definitely love it.
Yeah. All right. So she sits down with Lamar, and obviously her expectations are probably low of this conversation, but to her credit, she still gives Lamar the benefit of the doubt, and she starts explaining that when she doesn't have a specific type when she's looking for a partner, that there should be a physical connection. But shortly after that, she focuses on, the sapio side, emotional maturity, and stuff like that. And, of course, here Lamar comes in, cutting her off. Oh, but wait, the physical attraction is extremely important. What did he say after that?
He's like, I'm used to having 2 women in my bed. I'm a very sexual person. Not just going on and going on. And then she's like, so since you're used to, this excitement, will the norm still excite you? And he was like, oh, you better find some way to please me. You better find some way to please me. I'm like, oh,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then he jumps into, like when I first saw you and your lips, I wanted to kiss you. And then it really digressed to like the question about what did you say? When was your freakiest experience in high school? How was that even relevant?
Is creepy, y'all. That gives me rapist, pedophile vibes, honestly, y'all. That is disgusting. At 42 years old, why do you care about what she was doing in high school? What kind of image you want in your head? You want to see a little girl having sex after prom? That is disgusting, y'all. It just made me question this man. Like, He's been married twice, 2 divorces, and I highly doubt that he respected his ex-wives. I highly doubt it.
So I think it's safe to say there's no connection here.
No, she was turned off.
Another woman turned off, third in a row, to refer specifically to Lamar jumping straight to sexual conversation.
Yeah, and this is only third in a row in this episode.
Just this episode.
Don't forget last episode and the first episode he's talking about skinny dipping on the first date. But nonetheless, this man is disgusting. I'm so glad that Go ahead.
All right. So next up. So in the next date, it's a group date. Jonathan, LaRon, Maya, and Mika. I guess they're all meeting up at a bar. Seems cool. They get to the table. I think LaRon orders some shots. And then LaRon, starts opening up, kind of about, what he envisions in a relationship and how he doesn't want it to be a boring relationship. And if he has a family with kids, that he wants to be, cooking out and hanging out at the neighbor's house. So, this is cool because he's showing kind of a different side of him.
Yeah, because we all thought he was like this party only type man. And, he said some things that was relatable to our relationship, right, honey?
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. So that was cool. Then I think Jonathan was asked a question about what was your longest relationship or your last
relationship. The table
was
asked the question.
Okay, yeah, the table was asked the question. Yeah. And apparently Jonathan had told Maya in a previous episode that he was previously married.
Right.
But we do recall there was a group date where Jonathan was with Mika and April. And they also were talking about previous relationships. And apparently, he never mentioned to them that his kid's mother was his ex-wife. So Mika was caught off guard by that. And she, immediately called him on it. And, Jonathan, body language, response, it all showed, this is a dude who, for some reason, didn't want to be forthright and honest about his situation, and I don't understand why. I'm not saying that you got to lead with that, but whenever you're talking about relationships in either a one-on-one setting or a group setting, 9 times out of 10, something about that conversation will warrant you to refer to your ex-wife. And he didn't do it one time in that conversation with Mika and April, and so of course it comes up here. And I wouldn't even put too much on that if it wasn't for his reaction when Mika called him out on it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's kind of strange. Jonathan, to me, seems like he's hiding something for whatever reason. But then I guess I don't think he's hiding something. He was clear with Maya that he was married, but he wasn't clear with Mika that he was married. And that just tells me that he doesn't like Mika. He's not interested in really opening up to Mika.
What about April, though, when he was talking to April?
He ain't like April either. We knew that. Yeah. Nobody liked April. We knew April was going to be the first one to go home. Yeah. But also that conversation with he and April and Mika, they were interrogating him. What is it called? Rapid fire question? Rapid fire question. Yeah, that makes people very uncomfortable and it makes people close up. So I just feel like he should have opened up and called his baby mama his ex-wife. But he didn't. That was an opportunity for him to say, that's my ex-wife. And when Mika said something about spin the block, he could have said, yeah, she's my ex-wife, so, it was kind of hard to let that go. Something. It was a perfect opportunity for him to mention that, but he failed to mention that. But I'm not going to necessarily say he's trying to hide it, especially if Mika knew, right? Not Mika. Maya knew, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But they're about to break into a sidebar, Jonathan and Mika.
Yeah, so let's see what they go say.
All right, so the first sidebar we have is between Jonathan and Mika. All right, and Mika doesn't hesitate. She jumps right in to the fact that, Jonathan omitted this information about being previously married. And, Jonathan has said something like, oh, well, we should be focused on, progression in the future as opposed to history. And I'm like, no, your history matters. It is valid. It gives a person an idea of who they're dealing with and the state in which that person is at. And so to not speak on something that's so significant in your life, such as a marriage, I don't know. I feel like there's a problem with that. Also, it shows kind of a sneakiness, a little slyness. And so now I'm questioning other things, that you tell me. I don't know if you're being genuine and forthright with me because, and then if I catch you omitting something, or you're going to always fall back on well, that's the past. Well, that's history. What? No, it's relevant to what we're discussing.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, honey. I feel like Jonathan's he's being a little sneaky, but I said before, I also feel like he just didn't want to disclose that information to Mika. And then in the confessionals, he said some women, what did he say, baby? Some women don't like to hear that the man been married before. Some stupid excuse, but you told Maya. So I didn't understand that. His body language also, he looks very uncomfortable. But I will say, Mika didn't make it easy either. She's not someone that I would open up to be honest. I would share that. I don't feel like if I was married and I'm dating, I'm going to let you know that I was married before. I'm not going to hide that. And honestly, it looks better, especially if you have a child. It looks better that you marry the lady, right? The mother of your child. So I don't really see why he doesn't want to disclose that information. I would say Mika's not doing a good job at creating an environment that makes you feel safe and open, But that's still not an excuse for him not sharing that. But whatever. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, we'll see. And there's no connection there whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely not. And Mika, the other thing I noticed about Mika, she keep on focusing on this. Like, where's your other questions about, what are you looking for? What are where's the positive questions? You're focused on this man and his kids, and there's other questions that you can ask to kind of get a feel of what type of man he is. That way you would understand if he's a true liar or if he's just somebody who just left that out to protect his peace, like he says. Asking different questions and not being so focused on the mother of your child, your past. Did you cheat? Did you have sex with her? Did you spin the block? Whatever she said. There's other questions that you could have asked the man to gauge what type of person this man is. Right, babe? Yep. So that's all I have to say.
All right. The next sidebar is between LaRon and Maya. And you know what? This was a real good little sidebar. I mean, they were really vibing. They were actually finishing each other's sentences, smiling at each other the whole time. I think LaRon really respected the fact that, Maya's an entrepreneur. She's about her business. He's also in the software field, generally speaking, in that field, you're pretty successful, making good money. And, they started discussing, potentially being a power couple. And then I think towards the end, he even said something like, "What's up? Will you marry me?" And she was smiling and, receptive to that, And then she said, they're definitely going to have another date. And then in the confessional, she's like, "Man, this could really be my power couple husband." And those are some pretty powerful statements to be saying after a date. So I think what we're seeing now is a true connection potentially forming. Of course, we'll see what happens with this next date, but I like what I saw.
Yeah, I actually thought this was a very cute date. I love the connection. I actually like the fact that LaRon says that they both want a fun relationship, and that's important to us too, because T and I, we party together. We take shots together. We go out. We're always out. We hang out. We know a lot of owners of clubs and bars, and we go to different events, and we have so much fun together, and that's important in our relationship. So we can relate there, and I feel like they had that in common. And then just talking about, it was just cute. It was cute. Everything you said, baby. I agree with it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, baby.
All right. So this scene is the ladies' lounge. It's the first ladies' lounge where they discuss their feelings about the men. And before they start discussing, Laylen just basically bows out. She tells Tommy that, there's a lot of family issues going on, and she feels like this is the best decision for her to leave the process. Like we said, we honestly just feel like she's not connecting to anyone, and that was just her way out. So then he goes to ask about connections, and Patrice chooses Alonzo as her number one connection. She likes the way he makes her feel. He takes care of his women, and they laugh, they joke a lot. Maya chose LaRon, and she says that they had a really good conversation, and he still give her party vibes, but she feels that she can have fun with him, and it'll be an exciting relationship. And immediately Koesha jumps in and say, "Well, his partying never scared me. That's what he needs to be doing. He's a single man, and he's doing what he's supposed to do." And I'm like, okay, this girl is the same woman that married a man and found out later on he had 4 children. Like, you have to, as a woman, you have to pay attention to these men lifestyle to see how they will be, if they'll be a good potential partner. And I'm not saying that partying is bad, but what else do you do besides partying that makes me feel like you're a great guy? All this man did was lead with partying. Although this episode we were able to see a more serious side of him, but I think it is important to acknowledge that he is partying very, very heavy, and that should be taken into consideration when it comes to making a decision about a man. Okay? He says Tuesday through Sunday, y'all. He only get one day off, and that's a Monday. Okay? That is excessive, and that's definitely a yellow flag. Okay? And then Sheena chose Justin. She really liked their date. She felt that he was okay with having, she said, 2 older children. Dating a woman with 2 older boys. And then Mika chose Dominique. Where is Dominique, y'all?
Yes, MIA.
We have not seen this man, heard from him, nothing. But I will say, I don't think she's connecting with anyone. If you heard what Mika said, she said, I'm connecting with Dominique is still her top. And they connected since the mixer. She didn't mention anything about phone calls or another time they talked, you know? Right. So this is going from that first episode when they chatted. So I don't know where he is, but it doesn't seem like they've been communicating, and she's still holding on to that first conversation that they had. Yep. Right? I don't think Mika's going to last long. I don't feel like anyone's connecting to her. I think she's a beautiful girl, but I think she lacks personality. She doesn't know how to hold a conversation. I don't think she's good at dating either, honestly. So for me, Mika is actually at my bottom. Well, Alexis is closely there too, but Mika is actually at my bottom in terms of women that I like. I think she's beautiful. You think her titties and booty is fake, babe?
I mean, definitely the breasts are. I haven't seen a clear shot of the booty.
Yeah, she got a nice body. Thing is thingin'. Yeah. But I do think she has some enhancements. But nonetheless, Alexis chose Will, and Vanessa chose Chaz.
Yep. So no real surprises there. Yeah. I think these are the connections that we saw forming.
Was there anything you wanted to add?
No.
What do you think about, because she is a comment?
I mean, I just wasn't surprised that she jumped in like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and also, you know, I remember in the first episode, an early episode, she was actually, you know, somewhat connecting with LaRon.
Yeah.
Right? I think they were sitting near some pool or something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, so I'm not overly surprised that she jumped in the way that she did. Yeah. All right, so next, Tommy asked the women who they're least connected to. And it starts with Mika. And of course, we knew who Mika was going to pick. It's Jonathan. And specifically because of that, not saying that he was married. I mean, she's been bringing this issue up nonstop. So did we expect anything different?
It's kind of strange, actually.
Yeah, it's very strange. Then we had Maya, Alexis, Vanessa, and Rashina, literally in that order, all picking Lamar. And we knew Lamar was bottom of the pack. So I expected his name to pop up constantly. And of course, the primary issue was what? Sex. Always bringing up sex and nothing else, right? Nobody had anything positive to say about him. In addition to that, though, I will say Vanessa pointed out the fact that Lamar was very insensitive to who she is. And I don't know why any of these women would have expected any sensitivity whatsoever to come from him or anything other than the sex thing. Rashina also threw Will into that bucket too, because if you remember, Will was the one that brought up the whole 3 men when she mentioned 3+.
Yes.
You know, so he kind of insinuated that. All right, so then Patrice picked Will, and I think it was because of this conversation that they had. You know, he's in real estate. I think he was staging a home. He ended up just staying there for the night. You know, somehow she interpreted that maybe as he's broke and poor. Yeah, squatter. And I can tell you right now, you know, I'm kind of dabbling in real estate myself, and that's a completely understandable scenario.
Exactly, so, especially if you got to wake up the next morning and
absolutely
show the house. Like, wow, especially if it's not close. Like a lot of, your house is not even that close, babe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that she actually picked the issue that was a good thing. That means he's about real estate and he's doing some things. So, But anyway, and then we had Koesha, who also picked Will. She said he was very pushy, very forward, and these are things that we pointed out in previous episodes. Right. You know, just very direct and, you know, obnoxious, to be quite honest with you. And, you know, let's not forget about the fact that I think he's the one who, when he found out about the four kids, or what is it? 4 kids
after she found out her ex-husband had 4 kids after they married.
And then said it was because of the ding-a-ling or something like that.
Was the ding-a-ling that good?
Yeah, so we knew he was going to be on Koesha's list. But after Koesha pointing Will out as the lowest connection, then she also mentioned that Lexi, okay, was actually spilling all the tea from the ladies' lounge or conversations that the ladies are having. And you know what? That's messy.
That's
okay,
very messy.
Very, very messy. I lost a lot of respect with Alexis there.
Yeah, Alexis now she's not my, remember the last few weeks I was saying she's my best all around, and I don't like her anymore. I actually think Maya is my best all around now. And Alexis she rubs me the wrong way. That is totally wrong what she did. I don't like women who's like male identify, always picking up for men. You don't even know Will. Like as you're getting to know him, listen to what he's doing to other ladies. This is your chance to vet him, right? Look how he's treating Koesha. Look how he's treating who else put him in? Rashina. Listen to what they're saying in the ladies' lounge. This is a way for you to vet him. You shouldn't go back and tell him what you're hearing in the ladies' lounge, because it might be some things that's gonna help you vet him out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that was kind of strange. So I understand Koesha's concern. I do understand her concern. I understand why she was a little upset.
Yeah.
But she messed up by just going crazy.
She did go crazy. Well, I mean, so of course, you know, Alexis, I thought it was kind of funny how she called Koesha. I don't know if that was a slight to her or whatever, but it definitely got Koesha a little bit more worked up, because then Koesha comes back and says something like, Alexis is looking like a 12-year-old. That's why she ain't getting sexual attention from the man.
Ain't my fault that you're shaped like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny.
Koesha. What name? Koesha? Koesha comes with a vengeance, y'all. I would never want to argue with that girl.
No. But, you know, so they start going back and forth. Things get escalated. And then I think Koesha's like, you know what? Alexis could get it, Tommy, this, that, and the other. And then she starts crying and then walks off the stage. It's like, you know, so what that tells me is, you know, Koesha, a lot of bark, but no bite. You know what I'm saying? Just that type of person that gets going, and then when someone else bucks at you, you fold, you know? And and by the way, this isn't standing up for Alexis in any way. I'm just pointing out that if you're going to be that type of person, then be able to back that up. You know what I'm saying? Alexis, yeah, no love for her, because she showed her loyalty to this dude, Will, which, by the way, Will is only above Lamar at this point. And Alexis showed allegiance to Will over her girls. Or not her girls, but the girls.
Yeah.
And that's code. I mean, I'm not a woman, but I believe there's some code there. You don't go telling men what women are talking about.
And I'm not invalidating what she's saying. Oh, he hasn't treated me that way. Still, just because he didn't treat you that way does not mean, you know, does not invalidate what she's saying, you know?
Yes.
So I thought I was totally wrong, and definitely breaking girl code. And most importantly, you just look like a pick-me, honestly. You look just like a pick-me. Yeah. And when they went on an elimination day, she made it even worse. So Alexis is definitely not my favorite anymore. Yeah. I lost a lot of respect for her. I really did.
And apparently she is all in on Will right now.
Clearly.
Okay. All right. So here we are at the elimination dates. And no surprise, Lamar and Will are on the chopping block. Yep. All right, so first we got Alexis delivering the information to Will. And she points out that, you know, a lot of the women felt that he had a lustful energy. Also the fact that, you know, he was laying on the floor in that property. Most of the women kind of interpreted that as an unstable man. And of course, once she delivered that information, Will was just... He was heated. I mean, his face from that point on to the end of that date, you know? And, you know, Alexis is again, professing her, whatever she's feeling for this dude, telling him that she fought for him in there, she was defending him. It's actually just very ridiculous that she is so into this dude. I don't know what it is that she's seeing. But this really got Will worked up. I mean, to the point that he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get back at these women.
I'm gonna make them look stupid.
Make them look stupid. He mentions war.
I'm like, sir, what are you gonna do to these ladies? Honestly, you're gonna look stupid going to art. You're gonna look sassy and stupid going to argue with women. Okay.
He already looks stupid just saying
exactly
what he's gonna do. So now you're about to make a fool of himself.
Exactly. And I'm on Will's side when it comes to this. You clearly could have just turned this around and said, you know what? I was talking to Patrice and I told her that I was looking at how I was staging house, and of course I had to be there the next day, so I fell asleep in the house. That why would I go leave the house? That's my house. One, that's a perfect bragging opportunity. Like, this is my house. I do real estate, and I just didn't want to leave because so and so and so. Yeah. Because I have to show the house the next morning, the house over an hour away. Whatever it was a perfect way for you to just kind of redeem yourself. You knew who you told that to, because you didn't tell that story to multiple women. At least I don't think so. But that was your perfect opportunity to say, no, I was talking to Patrice and I told her that I fell asleep at my house that I was staging. I'm getting ready to sell it. I had to be there the next morning. There was no purpose of me leaving. Or if it's close to the place I just came from. What if I went clubbing? It's my house. I can sleep in my house.
Yes. And by the way, you don't even have to get deep into an explanation. If you're confident about what you do and how you roll, you just say what you need to say and move on. And if they can't understand it, well, that's not the woman for you.
Exactly. But I do feel like as a man, no man wants to be painted out as a broke man. So this was a way to say it was a misunderstanding. Not getting all, I'm going to get crazy, I'm going to do this, I'm going to war. It's just a perfect opportunity to understand that. If you don't understand real estate, then I can understand where Patrice is coming from, because she probably felt like all she heard was like, oh, I'm staging this house and I'm gonna go to sleep here. It sounds a little off, but when you understand real estate, what staging is, staging takes a lot of time, right? And you're staging for pictures or for somebody to come see the house, right? So then if that house is far from him, or if he just wants to, it is his house, he could sleep there. It doesn't make you poor or anything. This is your house that you own. You just finished staging it. Maybe you came back from somewhere and you're close. That's a valid reason for you to sleep at your house. It has electricity. When you're staging, you usually have electricity and running water, So I just think that she had a misunderstanding. She didn't understand like what staging meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would suggest to Will is you calmly explain this to whomever you're talking to. Yeah. And then if they still don't get it, which is very possible. Some people just don't understand this stuff. Clearly Patrice didn't. Then that's not the person for you. Exactly. And then you move on. But it's when you start acting like this, you're ego driven. You feel like, your ego got hit, and now you looking weak, you looking insecure, and then you're getting disrespectful potentially with women, because if you're saying that you're gonna get back at them, you're gonna go to war, that means you absolutely gonna be disrespectful towards these women, and that just looks stupid. So but somehow he happens to be in a pack which has a Lamar. And so he's still not eliminated.
Yes. And he didn't seem excited. When she delivered that he's still ready to love, he was still mad at the fact that Patrice said that. And I'm like, sir, you have a woman in front of you who likes you, who's riding for you. That's what she said, right? I rode for you, or
I fought for him.
She said, I fought for you, And you showed absolutely no appreciation in that at all, Because she could have been turned off with what Patrice said, but she wasn't. She said she rode for she fought for you in the ladies' lounge, and the least you could have said is thank you so much. I'm excited to see where this connection goes. He just rolled his eyes and he's like, for sure.
He was fuming.
I was just like, yeah, he was fuming.
All right, and then the last elimination date, of course, was Lamar, and Koesha was the one that was delivering that information. Definitely, probably not the best person to do that, because I knew something was gonna happen in that date. And if she pointed out that a lot of the women felt like the conversation is very risque, sexual in nature. That came up numerous times. And even on facing elimination, he still finds a way to just dig the hole deeper. With the way that he's interacting with her, cutting her off. And so she finally got to the point where she was like trying to explain to him, using her tone, which I think we've kind of pointed out that she has a way of talking that might not be the most ideal for communicating
with
adults. Yeah, it kind of seems like she's on a soapbox talking down to people.
Yeah, she gets close, she leans in forward,
Yeah,
and he pointed that out.
Yeah,
it changes her tone, but I will say she delivered the message pretty well.
She did, and I even though yes, she was kind of doing some of that, she was still saying valid stuff.
Exactly.
You know, and she did caveat it with, this is my perspective. Like, that's how she did it at the end. And then he just cuts right in, like, can you please change your tone? Right. Could you, just correcting her on the spot. Obviously, he was feeling some kind of way. He did point out that he did feel like, he took a loss, right? Mm-hmm. Because this was a competition. But this does not strike me as a man that is remorseful in any way, who has learned anything. As a matter of fact, I think he will double down on this type of behavior. And so, not surprisingly, he's eliminated. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think Will is coming up next.
You think so?
That's what especially if he goes to war.
Yeah. He might be next. Yeah. Nonetheless, amazing episode. We hope that you enjoyed tuning in. Please, y'all, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and keep this conversation flowing in the comment section below. We're looking forward to talking with you guys next week.
Yes. Have a great week.
And on that note, TND is
out.
Out.